Placebo, song for Karl there. That's Special Needs on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington.
We were doing songs of phrase.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh god. So what is this phrase? What is the phrase, Karl?
Last week we were talking about Galileo.
Right.
And I just was saying, years ago, I can't remember now, when was it? When was he doing his thing?
End of the 16th century, I think.
Right. And he was messing about, trying to find out about speed of light or something, is it?
No, he did lots of stuff, Galileo.
All I was saying is,
Gravity,
back then,
yeah,
surely
yeah.
everyone was saying, stop messing with that, make us a telly. You know what I mean? There was other things that people would have been happier with,
Sure.
back then. Like they
Yeah.
didn't
So
have.
the phrase exactly is what? The well-known phrase is what?
Galileo, well, it goes like this, doesn't it?
Science. Television.
Right.
So it's Galileo's stop
Talking to me about
talking about
science.
science, make me television.
Make me television.
Yeah. So you email in with the bands and that.
Brilliant.
Right, let's
That is rock bottom. I mean, the well-known phrase being Galileo, stop talking to me about science, make me television. As a well-known phrase is one of the weirdest things I've forget jizz out of windows and things like that. That is the weirdest thing I've heard on radio as a competition.
Can we have that one next week? Okay, well here are the prizes. If you think, Rick, if you think the quiz has hit rock bottom, wait till I tell you these prizes.
No, brilliant.
I know that we're very much pushing new music on XFM, and it's an alternative music station, so you'll be pleased that we're giving away now That's What I Call Music 55, featuring the likes of Busted and Daniel Bedingfield.
Brilliant.
You really know how to cater to our audience, don't you? The best dance album in the world, that includes DJ Sammy, Scooter, and Liberty X on there. So look forward to that.
Yeah.
This is not so bad. Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, a live DVD of a, a performance, and some, pardon me again, but, anyway. That basically sums up the prizes. So, I won't tell you the rest, they're all monotonous. But, anyway, I think those crisps, Rick, have gone down the wrong way. Although I was eating goulash earlier. Sorry. I'm fine. So anyway, yeah, that's some of the prizes. And you can win some tat.
So,
if you can identify these artists.
The well-known phrase, Galileo, stop talking to me about science, make me television.
Science.
I just
It's
email in.
appalling.
But easy this week, I think. Yeah. Play a record, Karl. I mean, it's ridiculous. Just banging the boiler and charging 90 quid. I think it was last Christmas. We had a dripping tap, right? And, it started off just dripping a little bit. And then, after I thought, we'd get that sorted out. We couldn't actually turn the tap. It was just solid where the washer had gone. And then, over Christmas, like before Christmas, it just started flowing. It was just like on, and I was thinking, this is terrible. It was terrible. It was the hot tap, and of course, the caretaker going away, everything had been closed down. So I called out an emergency plumber. Christmas,
Yeah.
like he couldn't get it, just turn the tap off, right? So he was trying, and in the end, he said, well, what I could do is I could just squash the pipe. Right, cut the pipe and squash it, and then you could change the whole thing. I'm like, yeah, whatever, right, because I can't have this, I guess. So, he said, I've got to go to the van, and he got this tool, came up to squash the pipe. He was only a young lad, right? Wasn't strong enough. So I had to help him squash the pipe.
Right.
He squashed the pipe, cut it, put a little nozzle on it, just to seal it, right? And, I was 180 quid.
180 quid.
And I want to say, surely that's half mine.
Yeah.
I helped it, and I was sort of being sarcastic. When Johnny was there, I was going, how much was that tool? He went, it was only about 9 quid. I went, pays for itself, innit?
Yeah.
And I was going, could I get one of them? He was going, yeah, get them anywhere. Obviously,
Yeah.
didn't it? And then he went, I wrote a cheque for 180 quid, and he went, oh, I didn't charge you for the nozzle on the end. I went, no. He went, I said, how much is that then? He said, £2.50. I said, I'll give you cash for that. £2.50. £182.50.
So he hadn't even really sorted the problem out.
But what can you do? What can you do? You know, he wasn't ripping me off. That's the prices.
Yeah.
He's not going to go, I'll tell you what, mate, because you helped me, call it quits.
Yeah.
Just buy me lunch. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
My mate was locked out of his, flat once, and he went out and shut the door behind him, and that was it. And he looked through a letterbox, and he could see his keys, right? Phoned a locksmith, says, look, can you come round? I can see my keys, right? I just have to go out. And he went, well, yeah, but that doesn't matter. I said, I'm going to try it. It's 90 quid. And he went, 90 quid? He went, but I can see the keys. He went, yeah, I can get them for you. And he went, and my mate said, you're going to come round, you're going to charge me 90 quid, and you're going to scoop my keys up with a bent coat hanger. And the locksmith said, have you got a bent coat hanger, mate?
It's brilliant. But it's a fair point, isn't it?
Do you know what I mean?
It's a valid point, that's it.
And what can you do?
Yeah. I'd have gone, thanks for the expert advice, and then asked the neighbour for a bent coat hanger.
And they went, well, we'll call it 100 quid.
Yeah.
But that's more expensive than a locksmith. Well, yeah, because you're going to illegal traders.
Exactly. We've got no licence.
Yeah. We've got to pay a little bit more in case we get fined.
Exactly.
But that's what was going on when, you know, the fellow was round the other day fixing the boiler in the bathroom. Just wanted to make sure that he was working on it, because it all went quiet in there. He had the door shut. I'm trying to have a little quick sort of peep, seeing if he's doing anything. And I push the door.
Just like this sounds.
But just pushing the door slowly. And he's going, don't come in. He's like, what are you doing?
Well, what was he doing?
Dunno. But then he's like, 3 down. Probably doing a crossword again. That's what annoys me. The way that, you know, it's all secret. You're not coming in. And you hear the odd bang now and again. He's probably sat there, crossword, 3 down, giving it the old, just now and again.
With his foot.
Just annoying.
Yeah.
How much did he charge you? 90 quid?
It's just under 90 quid.
Yeah. Yeah.
And all he said was, you know, give it a bang. If you don't work again, give it a bang.
What does that mean? Is that an air block? And they just like, what is it?
I don't know.
It's not that complicated. You wouldn't think a boiler's that complicated. It's not like understanding, you know, how a fast breeder works or a computer. It's a big lump of metal without water in it. How can we not know how that?
Yeah.
We were discussing yesterday, me and Glenn were trying to work out how a fridge works.
Right.
It's pretty cool.
Magic?
It is. The magic comes down the electricals into the frozen peas.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah. Can't still talk about, I know it's something to do with the hydrofluorocarbons can exist at much lower temperatures without freezing. So when they enter the fridge, sort of under pressure, as they flow around, because the pressure goes down, they take energy from the
It's perhaps a discussion to have in the pub, but not on the air. I still can't figure out, I've never quite understood how a plane stays in the air. It always underestimates me when I'm in a plane.
Turning a tap on, getting water.
Basically gonna go. Karl goes walking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a bit of science for you.
Go on.
Right. Read the other day.
Yeah.
If you dug a big hole, right?
Oh, God.
Started digging, say in, wherever, the Trafalgar Square, right?
Yeah.
You dig a big hole and you keep digging.
Yeah.
And you go right through the earth.
Right.
Out to the other side.
Yeah.
So you're somewhere in Australia or something, right?
Yeah.
And then you come back to London.
Right.
Stand next to the hole, jump in it. Apparently, you can jump through the world in 42 minutes.
It's interesting.
But then I was thinking, will you fall? And then when you come out the other end, would you fall back again?
Well, yeah, you would, wouldn't you? What would happen is, you'd accelerate, 10 meters per second, to the centre of the earth. But you'd have such inertia, you'd nearly go as far out the other end before it was like a bungee jump, so you'd nearly get as far as the other end, and then you'd go back again, and you'd keep going until back and forth, getting further and further away from making it, until you went sort of back and forth in the centre, and then you'd stay still in the centre.
Have you drilled a hole through the earth? Get in touch. Email xfm.co.uk and just let us know how you got on. Did you get to the other side? Did you get to Australia? Did you buy one of those funny cork hats? Did you see Paul Hogan?
How does a fish work? Growing on me, XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. I lost him, didn't I, in a little conversation
Yeah,
there.
you were talking about quantum physics, to be fair.
Yeah, I was just explaining what a black hole was. because we were talking like that as well last night. And just halfway through, he just went, yeah.
And put his headphones on.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh,
the thing about Karl is he speaks with such authority about things that he thinks he knows about.
Monkeys.
And when you try to explain to him about stuff, he goes, no, of course ghosts exist. And you try to explain to him why it's conceivable they don't. No. He can't be bothered with that.
Yeah, you did all your learning at about 12, didn't you?
Yeah, but I'm still picking bits up now.
Said without irony. Oh, brilliant.
What have you learned recently? Anything interesting recently you learned?
Darwin. That's why I was asking you about him.
Right.
Yeah, Darwin. We know what you did, didn't you?
I don't know what he did. I just read the other day that they've got a treatment for whatever illness he had. So I was a bit late. Can you imagine that saying that to his family?
What did Darwin do?
I don't know. You were just trying to explain it to me, but I'm busy doing stuff, aren't I? I can't take it all in whilst I'm sorting the ads out, putting CDs in. You know what I mean? Ticking off the knob news.
No, but he formulated the theory of evolution based on natural selection. Yeah, but wait, though. Do you think that's good? Do you think he's well done? You're impressed with that? Because you're not impressed with things like, you famously said, Newton, so it said gravity, but it was already there. If we'd have been floating around, it'd been a problem, but we weren't, so keep out of it. That's what you said. You said Einstein. I've never used EMC squared in my life, but the bloke who invented the video recorder, I watch one a week. So I wonder if you're impressed by Darwin formulating, I think, the most important scientific theory since Newton's laws.
Has it made a difference? Or whatever he said, would it have happened anyway? You
can't do that. You're not allowed to say that. You can't say, oh, well done, I'd have found it eventually anyway. You can't do that. You've got to give people their due, do you know what I mean?
But now it's difficult to find stuff because there's less to find out now.
It's not a competition.
But on what scale? On what scale are you looking at? Why do you mean there's less to find out?
Well, now, I mean, they're bringing stuff out that... Do you know what I mean? It's just...
The iPod.
Well, yeah.
Sure.
Didn't see the point in that, the iPod. Do you know, he actually listed the 3 songs he'd ever want to carry around with him. I can't remember what they were.
What are the 3 songs you'd put on
Killing
your
the Georgie.
Killing Georgie, yeah.
Yeah, what else?
Probably have Elvis in the Ghetto.
Right.
Yeah.
Moving.
Living in the City. Stevie.
Do you know what I like? Do you know why that? Because that's like a little film to him.
Yeah.
That's 3 songs where there's a little story. He knows the ending.
Yeah.
But it's someone singing it to him. A little...
Just put them on it. How many songs can it hold?
Well, 7,500.
Put that on. 7,500 times.
Sure.
Well, you don't need to, do you? I mean, that is like that joke. The wish. Imagine putting on 7,500. You know that joke about, you got 3 wishes. It says a never-ending bottle of Guinness. And you go, second wish, you gotta have 2 more of these.
Yeah.
You don't need to put them on 7,500 times, do you?
Well, you don't have to.
Never mind, Karl. Never mind. Answers rushing in, we should point out, for the quiz. Most of them agreeing that it's pointless. Some people have called it... It's songs of phrase, of course. Some people are referring to it now as songs of arse. Which is more than appropriate. But you'll be pleased to know that it's ending this week, and next week we've got the return of the even more pitiful Rockbusters.
For the last one.
That's back for the last one. We'd perhaps also need your petitions to Karl. If you want us to stay on the air, then you need to petition Karl, giving good reasons why he should stay, why this show isn't boring, or rather why he shouldn't be bored by it. I mean, you're bound to be bored as listeners, but obviously he's running out of steam now.
What are you fed up with? You're just fed up with, in general, are you? I mean, you want your Saturdays back, do you?
Just want a bit of a life back, that's all.
But you don't do anything with your life when you've got it.
Why don't you do this instead of, like, your day job?
Can't. It's more important than my day job, innit? That's what earns the company money and that. You know what I mean?
Well...
So...
Why don't you do a regular show then? Sack someone who's, quite frankly, not putting their weight.
I've done that. I did that years ago.
What do you mean?
Done it. Told you, I've done a lot of stuff. Boxing, done. Tick. Dancing, done.
No, you turned up, the place was shut.
Yeah, but...
Dancing? When did you do dancing?
That's when he went and said, I want to do dancing, and he went along to the place, and it was shut, and that was it. And he said, I didn't do it anymore. That's not doing it, is it? Boxing, he had a fight with one lad, then the lad beat him up, and he didn't go again.
Oh dear, it's pathetic. Well, anyway, yeah, so this is basically our penultimate show. Next week's the final, and we're all looking forward to that enormously.
Yeah.
But that may be it forever then, and this all for one, one for all for one. The Three Musketeers, gone forever.
Yeah.
I, for one, will be pleased.
Oh, I'll have to get some of these taped, because I like coming in and sort of, you know...
Incidentally, Rick, don't be afraid to nick as many CDs as you see fit on that last show.
People have already nicked them.
No, I know, but just take whatever you want.
Is that 4 Non-Blondes is still there, isn't it?
I think it's still there.
Because I don't want that to be nicked.
Yeah. And I got a feeling, because I don't think there's any Smiths in the library, but there's quite a lot of Gina G.
Really? What? What was that sigh for?
Nothing.
What?
Ooh.
Play a record. Monkey News is on the way, plus the results.
This isn't radio. You've got to keep talking or playing music.
Play some music?
Yeah. Heart of Gold by Neil Young on XFM 104.9.
Pop Idol, of course, begins this evening. I know you're looking forward to it, Rick.
Yeah, love it.
It's always a joy, isn't it? Especially those early rounds with the
mentors. Yeah.
Yeah, they are always extraordinary. That's the only reason I watch. I mean, I can't be bothered with the later contest. It's just watching the freaks for the first couple of weeks. It's an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, I sort of like watching the judges. They're good as well.
Oh, the judges are good, yeah.
I like the fact they've got their little shtick, you know, the special jokes they've obviously written, just waiting to get them in.
Yeah.
It's just great.
But
I like when Pete Waterman cries as well.
Does he cry?
Sometimes, if he's moved by it. He's better than bloody Bobby Daddon. Like it, yeah. Rosie Ribbon made him cry. He just wells up and then like that. That's good. I like that.
He talks a lot of old arse, doesn't he, Pete Waterman?
I sort of quite like him.
I don't know. I find him irritating.
Well,
it's like he genuinely thinks he's up there with Lennon and McCartney. That's one of the great kind of pop Svengalis of his time. Yeah. And you know, I don't know. You wrote songs for Sunita.
Well, let's not knock him. There's Foxes on there.
True. No, Dr. Fox is a genius. Obviously, he can step in if there's any medical emergencies. Rick Waller, you'll be pleased. Now, obviously, as you know, I'm a huge Rick Waller fan. Not only has he got a great singing voice, but he really is a picture, isn't he? No, I know it's a bit harsh. I've said it before, but he does make me a little sick to the stomach when I look at Rick Waller. And to be honest with you, it's his own fault. You know, he went in Celebrity Fit Club, he had a chance to sort things out, and his attitude was wrong, and he didn't trim down, and he's, for want of a better phrase, a bloater, and slightly grotesque. But, you know, he's in the paper this week saying that it was all because of his image. He didn't fit the stereotype of what pop stars should look like, blah, 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 blah. Well, he's disgruntled by this. He's got a great singing voice.
Well, he has got a great singing voice.
But the point is this, Rick, since the days of Elvis, since the days of Bing Crosby...
He's not as bad as Elvis.
But you're a star because you have to have the whole package. The voice, the sex appeal, everything. We know how it works. Kids buy it. It's pop music. That's what pop music is. You know, if you want to be a big fat bloater, you've got to at least be as good as Barry White. He isn't.
Or Pavarotti. And so anyway, he set up an organisation. He's already got a band, you know, he's got a band. You're saying, get over it, the world should revolve around looks.
Well, no, I'm saying pop music, that's what pop music is. I mean, this kind of obsession with, he should get a chance,
But not on record.
No, I know, but, be a backing singer. The point is this kid wants to be a star. He wants to be a star, doesn't he? That's the point. He doesn't want to sing and make a couple of records. He just wants to be a star. He wants to be a celebrity.
I'd have thought that's the real rub, that actually he's not being truthful with himself. Yes. He doesn't just want to make beautiful music and sing well. He wants to be, you know, carried round on a sedan chair and adored.
Imagine that.
I know. He'd have to have a lot of money to pay for the entourage that can carry him.
The 4 elephants needed. But he's got a company now. He set it up with his dad. It's a management company. It's called Star Search. And basically, he's hoping to break the fickle industry, expectations. And so if you're a bit of grotesque, if you're a freak of some kind, if you're someone that Karl, you know, would be impressed by or, alarmed by, then you can get in touch with Rick and he can put you in there. Women with beards, little midget fellas, whatever it does not fit the usual norm.
Should we cut along?
I'm thinking the 3 of us next week. We won't have much to do after next week. You know, Ricky's got a bit of a singing voice on him. I'm learning to play Blowing in the Wind on the keyboard by Bob Dylan. Yeah. It's like a master that. I don't know what you can do. You can
dance, can't you? You know that, you've done it, you've done dancing, so...
Exactly.
It's like, you know...
Little Donkey. We'll have a hit at Christmas.
Perfect.
I'm good on that.
What were you meant to be playing when you did Little Donkey in the play?
Drums to We Three Kings.
But you just busted it live, didn't you?
We're just talking about looks and stuff, right?
Always.
Because, you know, it sort of cheeky freak of the week, we did that and I stopped doing it.
Sure.
It was upsetting a few people. There was a thing on the website the other day about Elephant Man. Yeah. Right? Just keeping up to up on the news what's going on there. And they did
Drunky news.
They did a thing about him and what he'd look like if his head wasn't messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they made a little picture for him.
Was he quite good looking?
Not bad looking, but you can't use it. It's not like you can't put it on a passport.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, and the fact that he's been dead for several years.
Yeah.
No, but they also do that sort of thing for people who are alive. They say, this is what you look like. So you can't use it for that.
Yeah.
You can't use it on
Isn't that, that's sort of like rubbing it in, though, isn't it, really?
It is a bit.
Yeah. Unless they said, good news, you were ugly anyway.
Yeah.
To be quite honest.
You wouldn't have pulled if you didn't look like an elephant.
If you were symmetrical, you weren't a looker.
You couldn't use it on a little dating agency picture. This is what I look like.
Yeah. This is what I would have looked like. And they phone up and go, I'm intrigued, what do you mean would have looked like? Well, I see you, as we said, 7 o'clock. How will I recognise you? I'll be eating buns.
Yeah, look for the giant cauliflower.
Yeah, in a coat.
Exactly.
I love the fact that you're keeping up to date with what the Elephant Man might have looked like.
Yeah, exactly.
That is amazing.
Karl's news is largely what's happening in around 1880.
Yeah, or what might have happened
Exactly, yeah.
around 1880.
No, but it's sad though. Did you watch that thing in the week? That What Are You Staring At programme?
I didn't know. I couldn't face it. I know what you mean. It was about people who'd had unfortunate deformities.
Yeah, yeah, and it was really sad. I suddenly felt bad about some of the stuff we'd talked about and what have you. Because
Can I just say something like that's quite a nice thing to say. I was only about some of the things we talked about. Should we go over what we've discussed today? What subjects have we brought up today? How can you feel sorry about things like that when we're still doing it?
No, I'm just saying. You have a laugh and that, but then you see a programme about it and you go, oh.
What, you realise they're real people you're talking about?
Yeah.
When do you ever forget that? When do you ever forget that when you bring up these cheeky freaks of the weeks, or when we talk about Rick Waller, that there's not a real person on the other end thinking about it?
Yeah, but sometimes it's hard because they don't look like real people.
Play a record!
Don't slag off Rick Waller.
That girl was on with a big head. It's like Bo Selector.
We played some Dizzy Rascal earlier,
And that was wicked.
exactly. And he's the new kind of the kind of London rap sensation.
Yeah.
But let's not forget Credit to the Nation from 1994.
They're from Birmingham now, Steve.
Whatever happened to MC Fusion? He got a lot of bad press at the time. People didn't respect him, but I'm listening to that now. I think it was bloody brilliant.
Yeah.
All right.
And crucial, no?
Exactly. Adverts.
Kings of Leon, Molly's Chambers on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, you're Stephen Merchant, and that little bald head mank over there is Karl Pilkington.
Cockaliki soup.
Cockaliki soup is fine.
That was one from Nick. Thanks for that, Nick.
Yeah.
Is it
I was
monkey
referring to the woman who chewed on a knob in a goulash.
Exactly. If you just tuned in, you've missed that hilarious story.
Yeah. We still don't know why she was eating goulash. I've got a rash, look, come up my arm, look at that.
Brilliant, fascinating, thanks for that.
That's from rubbing his head, getting him in a headlock. And have you got some on your hair? Because look at that, that's like a heat rash. What do you wash your hair with? Have you still got that bird shit behind your ear? What is that? That's really worrying, isn't it?
It's like how the body changes over many years of sort of certain things.
Yeah.
It's like your body changes to protect yourself from the sun and what have you.
Yeah.
My head just got used to being rubbed.
Yeah.
It's reacting now.
Oh, that's a defence mechanism, is it? Right, I see.
All right.
Look at that, that's horrible.
Anyway.
You've got something on your hair,
Monkey news?
I was going to say the winner.
I don't think anyone cares.
Oh, come on, someone got all of them, didn't they?
Well, okay, play it again then. This was Songs of Phrase. We did this
The well-known phrase is Galileo, stop talking to me about science, make me television.
Science.
The most convoluted, banal quiz on any radio station ever. I mean, I'm including Moyles, Chris Evans, do you know what I mean? Simon Bates. That's worse than anything they ever did.
Apparently, Channel 5 have bought the rights. Anyway, what were the answers, Karl?
We had Queen in there, Altered Images, Thomas Dolby,
Yeah.
Beatles, Aretha Franklin, and Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Well, extraordinarily, Tracy and John Burton from Colchester and Essex got all of those right. Why they would want the prizes, I've no idea, but good luck to them. They can enjoy those at some point. God bless. Okay, Monkey News?
Do you want a bit?
Yes, please. Play the jingle.
This rash is weird. Oh, chimpanzee that! Monkey News.
Right. They were filming a documentary, right, this telly company.
Yeah.
Doing a documentary.
Who? Which one? Which one?
Don't know.
No, right, what was the documentary about?
About monkeys.
Yeah. Where was it? Where was it?
Africa.
Right, when was this?
I haven't got a date.
Okay. Recently, though, since the advent of television, obviously.
Yeah. Actually, a bit of extra monkey news if you want it.
Okay, always.
Do you know the,
Monkey News Extra. Go on.
Do you know the Halfords ads?
Halfords ads? I don't think so, no. What happens?
Halfords, they've they sell nuts and bolts and stuff.
Right.
They were using monkeys in the ads.
Okay. Yeah. And what happened? Don't they sell bikes, Halfords?
Well, mainly.
Bicycles and motorbike stuff and that. Okay, so they're using monkeys in the advert. What happened?
I can't handle it.
What?
I can't do this. Look at him.
I don't care what he's doing.
Well, basically, right, they've, there was a load of hassle because they were using these monkeys in this Halfords advert.
Yes.
Right.
And what happened? Get to the point.
It turned out there wasn't a problem because they were mechanics in the first place.
What, they were monkey mechanics?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Mental.
What are you talking about? That's not a story.
Right, anyway, listen, let's get back on to
They were mechanics in the first place.
Right, listen. Right, so they're making this documentary. Right? And stumble across a little gang of... Come
on! Just... Get on with it, please.
Little gang of monkeys. That's the first time I've ever laughed. I'll hear that.
I know. Well, brilliant. What do you want, a cake? Come on!
Can we play a song?
Oh, I don't understand what is wrong with you, you freak.
It's making me laugh.
Just tell us the story.
Alright then, alright. So anyway, right, so there's this documentary being made. They found a little gang of monkeys.
Right, play a song. I don't know what's going on here. I apologise.
Got a hide your love away. According to the Beatles on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant. Right, Carl, come on. Monkey News.
Everyone's composed. The jingle, please.
Oh, chimpanzee that! Monkey News.
Excellent. Okay.
Right, where were we?
We were just start again. There's some people making a documentary.
What? Okay.
Making a documentary in the jungle and that.
Right.
Stumble across a little gang.
Okay, come on.
Alright.
A little gang of monkeys.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
So the camera crew are there filming it.
Yes.
Everything's going normal. Nothing odd about it.
Okay. They're not running a restaurant, they've not got any barber shops, nothing.
No.
Just regular monkeys going about their business, yeah.
So anyway, what normally happens is the monkeys stick with the partner.
What did you want?
They don't sort of sleep around in that. Once they find the girlfriend or the boyfriend or whatever,
yeah,
they stick with them, right?
Okay.
But anyway, they were watching this one, right? And it's going around a bit, sleeping around.
Oily.
And it was getting fatter. They thought this is a bit odd.
Yeah.
Right. So followed it round and see it having it away. Turns out, little prostitute.
Oh God!
It's a little monkey prostitute.
It was getting fatter because it was charging them bananas.
What a load of old rubbish.
It's charging them bananas. What was it? A boy or it was a
woman? Little woman monkey.
That's the most extraordinary monkey news I've ever heard.
Oh! That is genius!
Has this documentary been televised?
I don't think it's been on yet.
No.
And that's all the information you've got?
Yeah.
And is that's one banana for everything?
Now, half a banana is for
just oral.
A poor job.
Right.
If you want full-blown monkey sex, it is 2.5 bananas.
Sure.
So,
let's just play a song.
Okay. Let's just play.
All right. Well, this is our penultimate show, which we're back next week. We're going to make it a barnstormer, I'm sure, lads. I want 100% behind it, 110%. next week. All right, none of this giggling, none of this infantile giggling like two schoolboys.
Right.
All right, we're going to come back. We're going to have some quality monkey news next week. We're going to have all kinds of treats. I would have thought.
Okay.
Some great prizes. All right, are we okay?
Yeah,
We all
best
behind
show.
that?
Let's make next week the best show ever.
Good luck. If you miss it, then you miss out. We're ending with a track from a couple of years back. I think it was 92, 93. Dinosaur Jr. Start chopping. Play that. Start playing.
I'm Ricky Gervais. That was Placebo, yeah, with special needs, which brings me to my next point. With me, Karl Pilkington.
Karl Pilkington, there he is.
Steve Merchant. 104.9.
That's it.
We're back then.
Well, for one last time.
Well, it's certainly the end of the season. We're away for at least, 2 months. We're doing the Office special. And possibly forever, depending on whether Karl decides he wants to carry on with this. Because, I mean, we do this for fun. We don't need to do this. We don't need to do this for, money. Obviously not.
The kind of money you're earning, Rick, you do not need to do this.
I don't need to do it. It's quite honestly beneath me.
Yeah.
We don't need to do it to further our career because it's embarrassing being
Didn't
on
your accountant
XFM.
say, do not even bother cashing those XFM checks? It's not worth your while.
No, it's not. Yeah, the time it took to sign them,
Exactly,
it wasn't worth it. So we do this basically to ridicule Karl on a large sort of platform. I say large platform.
Yeah.
XFM. No other radio station will have us.
It's roughly the same as standing up in McDonald's.
I
and
imagine so.
ridiculing.
But of a lunchtime though.
Yeah. Or
so,
when it's just the cleaning staff mopping up.
yeah. So, and if Karl doesn't come back, he's breaking up the three-way partnership.
He's very much
forever.
Sting, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like, what, 1986, 87?
Exactly.
He's gonna go off and sort of make some quite poor, sort of jazz-inflected white man soul.
Yeah.
And leaving us to, go about our business.
Play pizza places.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, well, I'm gonna go into sort of maybe writing
say, Dad, why can't I be in the CIA?
Yeah.
You don't know anything about it, you're a drummer.
Yeah.
So, we'll have to see. I mean, do you think anyone cares?
I wouldn't have thought so. Because I think if someone was interested in having some good chat and some great laughs, they'd spend some more time with their friends.
Yeah. Or listen to another radio
Or
station.
listen to a decent radio
John
show. I
Ross
think
or something like that, yeah.
they listen to XFM for some music to have on in the background that's loud enough so they can hear it while they're hoovering.
Yeah. I don't think our fans hoover.
Well, true.
I think you've got to have...
Or shoot up, whatever.
I think you've got to have a house
yeah,
to hoover. I tell you what they do want, though, some great music.
They do indeed.
They'll be saying, since you've been gone. See that?
Oh,
That's the sort of link I can do if we stay
If you
together.
could cut out all the other drivel you speak, you'd be great on Magic.
I know, yeah. You've got a...
Come on.
I know, you've got a rainbow something, haven't you?
Rainbow.
You got a rainbow. Well, I mean, for a last show, that song had everything. It's got 2 guitar solos.
Yes.
It's got a key change. It's got Bad Grammar, Since You've Been Gone by Rainbow, and that's for Camfield, the Prince of Rock.
Yeah.
He's gonna be the king when Vance, just hands over his crown.
Yeah.
And you've still got that on XFM, so, don't worry about us going, oh, you weren't? Oh, okay then. No one cares.
No one
cares. This is our last show, let's make it a good one.
Let me give out the email address because I imagine there's going to be a flood of emails
Saying,
demanding
please, Karl, keep the team together.
Yes, it's jono.coleman.
Coleman's not a team. He's just a big lad.
Yeah.
Right, come on.
What do you mean, come on, I've got nothing.
Ricky.Gervais.
Oh, Ricky.Gervais at XFM.
Or Karl.Pilkington, because you can do it throughout the week, you can do it throughout the 2 months. And, what's the phone number for XFM? 0207, is it 766 6000? And then just ask people through the car and leave a message on his voicemail.
Yeah.
So email him a lot. 0207 766 6000, I think, and just ask for Karl Pilkington.
Yeah.
Little Karl Pilkington, little baldy mank twit. And say, please stay.
Yeah.
Please stay. Karl, say something then.
How are
It's
you?
your last show. Say hello.
What are your feelings, Karl, so far? I mean, are you tearful? Are you upset?
Not at all.
No?
Can't wait for 3 o'clock. Sure. So it was interesting how Ricky was saying he only does it for the fun. I haven't even got that bit.
Yeah.
I am paid peanuts to work Saturdays, which wrecks me weekend.
Pay peanuts, you get monkeys.
I have no fun.
Yeah.
Right?
You having a laugh.
And what people
You
forget
love
is-
this. You love this. You love me coming in and having a little chat beforehand and after.
Yeah, but that's the funny thing, innit? Listeners just think, why does he get so moody about it, having Ricky annoying him just on a Saturday?
Yeah.
It's not just of a Saturday.
Why?
It's in the week as well.
How do I annoy you? How do I annoy you?
Daily.
How
annoyance.
do I annoy you, Karl? So you can't, if you be specific. See?
The first thing that springs to mind, when I'm trying to work with Steve before saying, come on, let's, find some interesting stuff to talk about, I think you were playing the accordion in the air. Was it the accordion? I mean, it doesn't really matter, they get the idea.
Although I can't play the accordion, so it wasn't very good, was it?
Where did you find an accordion?
I just was one out there, right? And then
Next to the drum kit he started playing with.
And then I had a loudspeaker, and I put the accordion for the loudspeaker. Then it loud, those loudspeakers. They're amazing.
My question is this, Karl. Do you honestly think that's going to stop just because we're not on air anymore? He's not going to see you on a Saturday, so he's just going to come in even more often.
Yeah, I can just drop in.
He won't bother me as much, though.
I think he will.
And he'll have his fob taken off him, so he won't be able to just wander in.
Of course I won't.
So
what? They're not. Do you think they're going to? Of course, they're going to let Ricky Gervais walk in anytime they want.
Yeah, I might come in, I might do a few trailers, might hang out, with Andrew, going, "Hey Andrew, how's it going?" He'd go, "Yeah, we're having a bit of trouble. What do you think?" I say, "Lose that off the playlist. Put that one on. Sack them. Yeah. Let's have a little bit of feeder. An hour and a half more. The last time ever, possibly. It's up to little baldy head Mankey. Little Karl Pilkington.
A number of emails, Rick. Yeah. This is from Matthew Davis. I think he very much captures the mood of the email public. His email is just simply titled, "Go! In the name of God, go!" It says, why wait till 3? Why not leave immediately and stop subjecting us to this abject misery?
Well, Karl did once when he had to get a train.
Of course.
So, that's never happened on radio before.
But who knows? I mean, stay tuned. We might shoot off at 20 to 2.
Or we might get better.
We might get better.
We might get better because we've done a bit of planning, because I got Karl round last night.
Really?
To do some planning of the show, didn't I? And so we've
I thought you were going to be there, Steve.
No, I wasn't told him about it.
Yeah, well, I called him up and said, "Why, what we're doing?" He said, "Well, you can come round and, have a chat, maybe get some ideas and that for tomorrow." So I said, "Is Steve there?" "Yeah, Steve will be coming." Yeah. So, go round. Close, next to his flat. The pub couldn't be closer. Yeah. Alright?
Yeah.
Unless there was sort of spirits and that in the lift, they couldn't have got closer.
Yeah.
Alright? So turn up, you're not there.
No.
He's lied.
Yeah.
Right, well, I mean, you wouldn't come out if it was just like you thought I was going to muck around. I had to pretend it was work to get you out.
So, you weren't there, Steve?
No.
Anyway, so he says, "Oh, come in the flat, got an interesting book that you'll like."
Okay.
So I think, well, that's kind of work, he's trying and that.
Yeah.
So I go in thinking we're going to get some good ideas and that from this book. Couldn't find the book. He looked for about 40 seconds, said, "Oh, I don't know where it is." "Come on, let's come in here, let's have a wrestle." So I'm sat in the lounge, right, sat there just chatting to his girlfriend and that, just chatting. He comes wandering out, in his underpants.
Yeah.
Well, I was comfortable, yeah.
I don't know if you were comfortable, because he was sort of pulled up.
Yeah.
Right between the crack.
Right.
Looked like... okay, probably like a gay sumo wrestler.
Yeah! And I did a little dance for you, didn't I? Because there was MTV on, I was doing a little dance.
Dancing to Elton John's new one.
Yeah! And what did you say? What did you say when I was doing a little dance for you and my pants pulled up? Like, do you remember what you said? You went, I poured him a drink, he's in my home, I'm entertaining him, he goes, "Are you sure you're not a bender?" Is that any way to treat a host?
I think it was the right time to ask.
But we did do some work, didn't we? Because you got confused and he said he's, oh God, it's like a child or a cat when it's confused. He went, "Steve reckons in ancient Greece, right, it was better to shag a bloke than a woman." And I went, "Well, yeah, I mean, that's about the male being, sort of a first-class citizen, much better, wasn't it? An aspiration to sleep with a beautiful man than a beautiful woman."
Women were lower-class citizens, so therefore men were seen as higher class. So to have sexual relations with a man there was no shame in that.
No.
In fact, it was looked upon.
And I said, well, it was, ancient Rome. I said, even Nero, he sit in his big jacuzzi and he used to get, pretty boy men to go into the water and just nibble at his testicles while he was having a wash.
He didn't do that.
He did!
No.
Yeah.
And he's not a gay fella.
No, I mean, I don't know about Nero, but I mean, it wasn't a case of a big delineation between what was heterosexual and what was gay. It was just, whatever you...
So what did this fella do then? This one who's having his...
Well, he was pretty much top boy, Nero, for a while.
He was in charge.
And, you did what you're told. If Caesar or...
But why were people going round there? Why didn't they go, "Oh"?
No, they weren't dropping in. It wasn't like the door was open. I just couldn't see what Nero's doing. It's not like when I pop in here to see you.
Normally what would happen is he'd say, come back to my place, I got a book for you.
Yeah!
You'd pop in,
but
he'd come out in his pants,
you'd
Elton
probably,
John would be on.
You'd have probably been like a delivery boy or a stable boy or something, you know, and you'd have popped round there and you'd have gone, there right, Nero, there's the tablets of stone you wanted. And you go, Pilkington, why you are here? Pop under, I don't know why he's French.
What is that?
I don't know why he's French. Just pop under the water and nibble at my testicles and you'd have done it.
Because he was Nero.
I wouldn't.
You would have.
There's no way I would have done.
Yeah, well, you would
What
have.
have I done? I've dropped a pizza off.
Yeah, you've
why
gone
am I
around to
there?
Nero's place with pizza.
Right. Right, I'd say I've done my job. Right?
Yeah.
That's not the sort of tip I wanted.
No, he'd have said, get the little baldy chap to nibble at my testicles, and you'd have remembered the water.
I wouldn't have done it.
No,
Well, you
I
would have
had my head on the
you'd
wall.
have done it, right.
No, I wouldn't have done
Well,
it.
can I just say this, Steve? Not only would you be nibbling his testicles, you'd have been going mad. You'd have been noshing him just for extra. You'd have been doing everything he wanted. You'd have been going, he'd have gone, I didn't ask you to do that. You'd have been going mental. They'd have been chewing, slurping, smacking, poking. You'd have chopped, you'd have gnawed his packet off. You think you're eating water?
Hey, Bulldog.
On XFM 104.9, our last show, maybe. Me, Ricky, Steve, and little Karl. Alright, Karl? But, that book, that wasn't a fake. It wasn't like just a ruse to get you back to show you me and dancing in my pants to Elton John. It's that,
What was your girlfriend doing during that, incidentally?
I think she was just getting on with sort of like packing up sort of boxes because we were moving. She was,
sure.
I don't think.
Well, she's seen it all before.
Yeah. And the book was, do you remember that book that I showed you? That, it was, a man's body, an owner's manual. And it's just like loads of stats. And there's one in there.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Guinness Book of Records of
men, yeah, there's one section there. There was,
sorry, hang on, it's not like Guinness Book of Records of men. That just sounds a little bit like you and I were sat around your house looking at a big book, picture of men.
The big man book.
The big man
He
book,
is a big man, isn't he?
Yeah.
He should be on the front cover.
Yeah, it was a book more about the kind of physical body and
Exactly,
about
yeah,
statistics
biology and social and, you know, sex and all that sort of stuff. And,
But we didn't
which
look at
is,
the sex
which is where was, we got the, knob news for today from. Right? This is true, right? I read that the... Oh! You'll have something come out! Knob news! Then you've got the jingle.
Yeah.
I read that the smallest ever functioning penis, right, was under 3/4 of an inch when erect.
Extraordinary.
That is bad luck, isn't it? And
Yeah.
it's a micro penis, so it's perfectly scaled down. Just a little look at Karl's face.
Well, couldn't the fella have said, look, right, I'm not happy about it, so don't print it. It's not the sort of press people want, is it?
There wasn't a picture of him. It was anonymous. They didn't read the book and, at work the next day and go, look at this, Frank. What? Smallest ever penis, half an inch. He didn't go, it's me! He just went, yeah, loser.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anyway, let's have a shower. I'm alright. I'm alright. He must have had to have a little jod with a pair of tweezers.
Yeah, presumably.
Because you couldn't even get a fist, I mean...
No.
That is bad luck, isn't it?
Was he a good-looking fella?
What would you do, right, if, he invited you round and said, right, and he was like the king, right, and he went, oh, Karl, can you just go in there and just nibble at it? And you've gone under the water, and you're just about to nibble at it, and you come up and you go, that's tiny. Would you be disappointed or relieved?
Right, well, that wouldn't happen.
No! Karl, I'm saying if it did, would you be disappointed? Would you go, oh, that, I can't even get, I don't know where to start with that? Or would you go, oh, thank God it's not a big one?
You've got to remember that he's the emperor. So you've got to do what he says or he'll have you killed.
What would you do? Would you go, oh, I lovely set of tackle, or, oh, it's not as big as I wanted, or would you secretly think, I'm glad it's not big, because I didn't want to, because I'm not that guy?
I'm not even gonna think about it, because I wouldn't do it. I know I wouldn't do it, even back then.
Even back then, what do you mean?
Even then,
What?
When was Nero at it? What?
Well, the Roman Empire was sort of like 2000.
well, it stretched
Up
for
to
years.
about- yeah. So,
It's a long time ago.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
You'd have to.
I always remember, we're still doing knob news?
Yeah.
Just the...
It's just
Knob
a
news extra.
Knob news extra, excellent.
Well, I didn't do that well at school and that, right? But we had biology.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't take much of it in, but there was one day when it was about, knob news and stuff.
Sure.
And it was all about how, blood, is what makes...
Engorges.
Yeah.
The erectile tissue.
Sure.
Yeah, it was all about that. And, there's this girl in our class called Paula, right? We were sat there watching it, and she fainted. You just heard her go, oh! And she hit the floor, right, because we were all sat on top of the desk watching this. But I wasn't that interested in that.
No.
I wasn't looking at it and that. But Paula, right, she fell over. And the funny thing was, right...
What was it, a video?
Yeah, a video of, like, this blood doing the business to this fella's member, right? And, she fell over, like, and everyone's like, oh, what's up with her? And the teacher was trying to, like, wake her up and give her water and that. And it was really weird, because then the nurse came in, and yet this video was still playing. And the nurse came in, what happened while she's seen this?
Yeah.
And you could hear, like, you know, then it was going on to, like, sex education on the video. It was all done from start to finish. What happens, da-da-da-da, and by the end, and she was still out cold by the time it got to, like, and then they had a baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And that just reminded me of it.
So it seems to me that was a sex education class. She fainted when the penis got erect, and when she woke up, a baby was born. That's probably what she thinks happens. She's wandering around now.
And the whole class just missed out of it, because they saw someone
if she's ever with a bloke and he gets an erection, she just goes, oh no,
well, that's it. She was a bit of a class tart, really. That's why everyone was like, what's up with her?
Carl.
No, but she was. Everyone was like, what's up with her? It's not as if she's not seen it before. But, just reminded me then. Weird. But anyway, yeah, so I wouldn't
Anyway, let's leave Nero aside.
Yeah. The other thing in this, should we play a record and come back? There's another interesting fact.
There is some extraordinary facts in that.
Yeah, there's more facts.
We're running over.
It won't be knob news. It won't be knob news. There'll be all different types of news. On XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington, for possibly the last time ever. I was coming in today, Steve, and I was walking just past, Shaftesbury Avenue, at the beginning of Shaftesbury Avenue, and, it's sort of a little bit of a tramp's corner going on there. And there's a couple of tramps, proper tramps, already had a few, and, about sort of like 40 maybe, right, or that they could be 30, they could have a hard life, they probably have. But he was going, Johnny's coming down, but, Les isn't gonna make it. And I think they're just planning their social, a meeting there. I just think that that's nice. They've got, you know, they don't just drink by themselves.
Yeah.
What are we doing tonight? I thought we'd get drunk and sleep in the Zoe. We did that last night. But I just like the idea that they're planning it. And they've got mates and they do stuff and they go, alright, how's it going? Well, you know how it's going. Yeah. I'm sitting next to you in a pile of piss. You know how it's doing. I was also thinking, do you think they ever wake up, like, before they've had anything, like 9 o'clock and go, I was pissed last night. Yeah. Oh. You were talking absolute rubbish. What was I doing? You were just going, you
were just shouting at cars walking in the street.
You were joking, was I really embarrassing?
Yeah.
Oh, you were pretty drunk.
I'll tell you this, I am never going to do that again.
Oh, but at least I didn't make a pass at Dirty Agnes. Oh, God, what did I do? You were just going, please, Just love the idea they have no little conversations and that. Okay. I imagine one of them going, I'm not coming out tonight, I've got no money. Nor have we yet. I'm just gonna go and dance. Just go and dance outside McDonald's.
Seriously, I only made 18p today. You know, because I've always had a soft spot for the homeless. But do you remember that time I was walking over to yours once? And, see, there's the homeless people, there's those ones that, they try to retain a certain dignity. They won't just come up and ask you for money. They'll come up and maybe try and start a conversation before introducing the fact.
The fact that what you despise and annoys you is the thing they're trying to hold on to is a little bit of pride.
I know.
And what do you want them to do?
Well,
just be crushed in a skip, going, just give me some money, look at me.
I just think, come out and say it. You know, come out and say it, but don't try and fool me, because sometimes I feel like I've been tricked. I get annoyed because I feel like I didn't see you coming. You came out of left field, you know, I didn't know you were a tramp.
I imagine the fact that they're bare-chested, apart from a blanket with their hand out and covered in sores, and no teeth is a clue that they're probably not really.
This was one of those ones, you sometimes see them, the ones they're slightly older, and they've got a full suit on. They wear a complete suit, like a pinstripe suit or something, with maybe trainers, admittedly.
Yeah.
And I sometimes think to myself, you know, at what point in that moment before they finally left the house for the last time did they think, well, I'm going to be homeless. I want to look good if I'm going to be homeless. I'm sleeping rough.
But it does happen quickly. It sort of happen. It can happen in a matter of days or weeks.
Anyway, listen, I'm not begrudging the fact that he asked for money. That's fine. I just felt a little bit annoyed because I thought he was an ordinary person.
Right.
And he came up to me and he said to me,
Go on.
And he said to me, excuse me, mate, have you got the time? And I said, whatever, you know, 3:10, and he went, have you got any money? And I knew that, I was annoyed, and it annoyed me because I thought, I should have known straight away. I mean, a homeless person, you know, I sensed it straight away.
Yeah.
Excuse me if you got the time. I wanted to say to him, where have you got to be?
Well, yeah.
What appointments have you got?
Well, no, maybe he goes to work, he starts begging at 3 o'clock. Yeah, he asked all that day, he goes, what time? They go 3:45, or whatever. You know what I mean? Then he goes, oh, give us some money. It's 3 o'clock.
Right.
Maybe he has the mornings off. It might have been his day off. He was doing half day or, you know, shift work.
Yeah.
He might, you know what I mean? You never know what shift they're on.
I just think when you see those people from shelter or from famine relief in the street, they've got to wear those little things over their clothes that say where they're from, or at least some kind of name tag.
Yeah.
So you know when you're stopped by them, you know what to expect. They've got a clipboard.
I know.
These homeless people who come out of there, they look like regular people. They come lurching out like zombies. You go, oh, you think that's an attractive woman? She's just come over. Oh no, look, she's got a dog on a piece of string.
I know, yeah.
I just think they've got to come out with it. They should just come out with it. Just be honest. Be proud.
Those people with their things sometimes annoy me. It's where they stand right in the middle of the pavement. I have to zigzag. I have to cross the road 4 times to get through them. It's like playing Getaway on video, avoiding all these up and down Oxford Street. You have to really, they come out, worse when they recognise me. That's why I've got about 8 standing orders now where I've been caught.
But I leave the house and it's just like people are trying to take my money from me. Between my house and the tube, there's just swarms of people trying to take my money from me at any cost.
Karl's got his first little direct debit, haven't you? £5 a week or something, £5 a month.
Yeah, I've joined something to help Africa out. I quizzed her for a bit. I mean, she came over and she was saying...
He was talking to her for about 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Just making sure your money was going to the right place.
Yeah, I was saying, you know, why have I got to give you my bank details? This is the thing. And I was saying to her, I'm sure you'd make more money, right, if you just had a little thing that you put money in. I said, I want to help you out, right, but it's the fact I've got to give you bank details. And she's saying, no, this is the way we guarantee we make money. You know, we can help places out because we could be out all day and we could only earn like 50p, whereas, you know, we know that it's worth us standing around.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, fair enough. I said, so what's my money going to be doing then? And I think it's called care of the world or something.
Yeah.
And she's saying we're giving them money to buy hammers, and we're not just going to give them money to blow in and stuff. They've got to like work and
they don't give them money.
Well, whatever.
What do you think of these people just like and these drought planes? Like
it's a gift voucher for being cute. So they have to buy a hammer.
No, but
they go with the buckets and go, alright, and they throw it up and they go, bundle!
Yeah.
She was making out anyway, right? That she was nice enough, she was selling it to me. She said, you know, we give them the tools and they feel good because they're building up their own place and everything. And, so fair enough, right? And now, I've done that for 2 months. They've had a tenner off me already. I'm checking it, making sure they're not ripping me off and that.
Yeah.
If I ever go to Africa and I need a hammer, and there isn't one,
yeah,
I'll be livid.
You'll be livid.
Because, you know, it is a lot of money.
Sure.
Every month, £5.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're talking about people hassling you and that in the street. I actually moved flat. The last flat I lived in, I moved from there because of the hassle. That
really?
it was a high street, and you couldn't, like you were saying, you'd nip out for a loaf and spend about 40 quid. Yeah. just on people saying, give us the money for this. Samaritans, tramps, heart attacks, old people, or whatever. It's like... So it ended up pushing me off that street. It was like, I can't handle this.
It's getting crazy out there. They may as well have little stalls.
Yeah.
Hey, but listen, let's make the world a better place with a little bit of music.
Oh, thanks.
Bit of Bauhaus. Version of David Bowie's Ziggy Stardust on XFM 104.9. With Gervais, with Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington, possibly for the last time. And, as a special treat, a return, sort of like a summer special, an end of term, well, a gift to the fans. Karl is bringing back Rockbusters.
Oh.
No.
Do you want to explain it?
Rockbusters is basically Blockbusters completely ripped off, done with music, that may or may not be a cryptic clue, and may or may not be the actual band name, and may or may not be the actual letters he said they were in the first place.
Do you want to sort of describe one, though, in case someone's a new listener?
Well, Exploding Pet was Atomic Kitten.
Yeah.
AK.
But basically, for those of you who are new to the show, this is the final show, Karl reads out what he considers to be a cryptic clue. It's not a cryptic clue, it's just some words. Just a string of words.
Yeah.
And from that, you are supposed to deduct the name of an artist, or a group, or a band.
We've had things like the Jamaican fella swinging a fish round, that was D-Trout Spinners.
D-Trout Spinners.
So that's the level of intellect you are getting from Karl Pilkington.
What was the one?
Just do the competition, what?
I was thinking was it she fell down in
Wet Knee
Texas?
Houston.
She fell down into a puddle in Texas.
On a knee, Wet Knee Houston.
Yeah, so you said it twice, it's not cryptic, so just do it, come on.
Right, so there's 3 of them, and you email in your answers. We've got some good prizes today and that. Right.
Well, let me say the prizes. They aren't bad.
Whiz through it, because this, you know, the competition's bad enough, let alone just listen. What's he got?
3 DVDs and
Brilliant.
about 6 CDs.
He's got the young ones and all that, like TV things, there's some great CDs, yeah, go on.
Right, so the first one, cryptic clue. This vegetable started life down under. Right? This vegetable started life down under. The initials K.O. Right? K.O. This vegetable started life down under. Second one, the things that you normally find on the beach, right, have been found floating around the moon. Right?
Yeah.
That's, I think it's TS.
How do you think it's TS?
Yeah.
You set the questions, but you're not sure.
So, the things you normally find on the beach have been found floating around the moon, right? And the last one, well, if you put that many in the post, I'm surprised I didn't receive one. Right?
He thinks they're great!
Well,
he thinks he's brilliant!
Well, you know, if you put that many in the post, I'm surprised I didn't receive one.
Is it acting? He did all that. Yeah.
The initials there, FC.
FC.
FC. Right? So you email in the answers, ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. Win that
Hey,
stuff.
let's slam dunk in some sounds.
Well, slam dunk some ads first.
Okay.
That on XFM 104.9.
It bloody better be.
I know you're a fan. You've enjoyed it. You love a bit of hip hop, don't you?
XFM 104.9.
Yeah, keep it real.
Hippie hop.
Oh, it's yeah, sweet man, sweet. It's
Halfway
that kind
through.
of stuff, it's that kind of lingo and that kind of patois that they won't be hearing next week.
No, I know. No, I know. Off making some bling bling. Alright, so, that's the sort
High
of...
five.
Yeah.
Sweet.
It's weird all that talk and that, isn't it?
I don't know what that means, Karl.
Excellent. What do you mean?
No, just all that bling bling and all that, because I didn't understand it, right? So I did a bit of research.
Brilliant, that's what you should do if you don't understand something. Look it
Yeah,
up.
I mean, always scope it out. if you
I always do
understand.
that. I always do that, though. You know I do that.
No, I'm giving you props for even doing it.
Yeah,
so.
massive respect and big you up.
Yeah, go on.
But, it's all slang. Right?
Is it really? Is it really? So it's not in the... really?
That's odd.
No, I don't remember it being in Romeo and Juliet, but then...
So you didn't speak like that when you went to Oxbridge?
What?
Never mind.
But no, I did a bit of research into it, right?
Go on.
And one of the things that they use is I was out last night, did a 187.
Yeah.
That's the murder.
Yeah. But why use slang, right? Because apparently 187 is police slang.
Yeah.
Well, if
Well,
you're
it's
gonna,
not slang, it's a code.
well, don't use what the police know you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't think they do it with police around.
Do they not?
Probably not.
Carry on then.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Yeah.
I always remember the Cockney rhyming slang supposedly originated because, you know, East End villains or whatever would make up their own slang so that if they're overheard
Yeah.
in conversation, then they won't know what they're talking about. But just look it up in some kind of Cockney rhyming slang.
Yeah, I like the idea of, okay, where is he? Where's Fingers? Well, copper, I'm gonna tell you this. He's up the apples and pears.
Exactly.
Well, I know what that means.
I know
Well,
what that
leave the house then.
Yeah.
If you don't know that he's hiding up the apples and pears, you might as well shoot off.
Exactly. Well, I can't possibly figure that out, so I'll just have to shoot off.
Yeah, where was he last seen? He was last seen with his trouble and strife. I know what that means. Well, you might as well shoot off then. Yeah, it's a perfect code. Of course, though, talking about Shakespeare invented 1,200 words. and slang gets in, so there are more and more words, and slang soon becomes, you know, the norm. There's no not real words and real words, you know, do you know what I mean? They're just as valid if they're common parlance, so they all become part of the, or they fade away and they're not used because they're a fad.
Yeah, like waz up.
Yeah. That's probably in the dictionary. That is, yeah, or soon to be. I was reading, was it a couple of years ago, you're gonna like this not a lot.
Right.
Got into the, it's a popular things got in there. Imagine that.
Yeah. You're gonna like this not a lot.
Zig a zig I think got in or something. Oh no, girl power got in.
Right,
girl power as a common phrase.
Sorry, go on. No, you have to, you mate.
No, it's just that, with the slang thing, did I tell you I was trying to read that book about, the governor?
Oh, yes.
And that was full of that, and it had a page on the front that you had to keep going to when, you know what I mean, when he used a bit of slang, you had to sort of go, right, I don't know what he means.
Glossary.
Right. Just nip back, have a look.
I thought you meant, when you said there's a page in the front, I thought you meant the cover with his face on. I can't remember who I'm reading about. Oh, there he is.
Is this the book that you nearly finished reading, but you realised all the pages were in the wrong order?
No.
He bought a cheap book, right, at a second shop, started reading it, loving it, then he started reading about this bloke, and he went from jail to school, and then he looked at the page numbers and they were all out of order.
How annoying is that?
I mean, never read books, do you?
I never read one, right? And Suzanne, it was a weekend when we were going to Hastings, because you two had done me head in, right? She said, I'm going to take you away so you relax and what have you. So, ended up not relaxing, because it was like putting a jigsaw together. I'd started reading it on the train, thinking, loving this. It's a really interesting story about this fella who, you know, didn't have a great life as a kid, starts getting into a bit of crime, what have you, turns out to be the governor. But it wasn't as easy as that, because like you say, it was, started off at school, then he was in prison, and he's like, oh God, he started young. And then, next thing, he's like married, and he's like, hang on. He's like 12, and then he's had a heart attack, and then, like, but I just thought it was part of the thing, because I read chapter 1, and then it did say chapter 12, but I thought, right, it's like that sort of done in that stylish way that everyone's doing.
What kind of a biography?
Look at that, it went
Starts messing with the medium.
I was born in the East End. Take one onion, add some, this is
like, the idea that an East End villain's gonna write his autobiography, but think, I'm just gonna play with the form a bit. I'm gonna get quite postmodern with this.
No, but... You know
he's
what I mean?
barely able to write, probably.
Yeah,
oh, you could say that about him, Steve. I wouldn't. I think he's an educated man. Go on, next, Karl.
But, yeah, just because it was like 2 for a tenner, that shouldn't be like, oh well, you know, you got a good offer, so...
No, that's rare. I'm sure the bloke selling it did not know that the pages were out of order. Let's face it, Karl, you read it and didn't realise.
Yeah.
So you can't really blame him.
You got almost half the way through before you realised.
I know.
Yeah.
But anyway, you know.
Still, that's a teacher, and that's put you off books for life, hasn't it?
Well, I don't like getting into books now, I just read snippets of information.
Play record. Play record.
No, I was just gonna tell you about a bit of information that I was reading.
Okay.
I can't... Well, we play...
No, I've got time for a bit of drivel before we play next tune.
Well, I'd rather hear a tune and come back for drivel, because I think people are tuning in for drivel, so let's tease them.
Okay.
Let's have a record, then some absolute shite from Karl. Longview and Further. I love that one. On XFM 104.9. Rick Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. Alright, Karl, what did you learn?
Right, like I say, I don't like reading books, there's too much to take
Words,
in, and
too
so
much word.
I'm busy in that.
Yeah. I don't like reading books, actually, but go on.
So,
But I have done. So, go on.
Right, so, I was looking in this magazine, right, and it was more about, do you know, I'm not that impressed with Einstein and Newton and that lot.
No, why should you be? What have they ever done? Go on.
No, but, you know the fact, you see, the Columbus thing, he's another one, isn't he, who got a bit of praise for finding America.
Yeah.
And it's like, someone else would have come across that at some point.
Yeah.
Right? And yet, news this week, they've found 2 new types of frog, right? No one's making a fuss. And look how small they are, compared to what he bumped into. And that's what I'm saying, people make a big deal out of all these people who are finding stuff, right?
Yeah.
So, the next person...
I mean, my head's buzzing, but I can't be bothered. I actually can't be bothered. Don't think this reaction's a good reaction. I don't know where to start with this drivel, but carry on.
Right. So anyway, the next fella, who...
Next fella? See, I don't know, you talk in riddles.
The next fella I'm going to talk about, Einstein.
Yeah.
Right, everyone raves about him all the time.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm trying to get into my head.
Yeah.
Like, why is amazing and that.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So, did a bit of reading up on him in this science magazine.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I read it. It's only, you know, I don't know, 200 words, whatever, trying to get across what he worked out. But I read it last night.
Is it relativity you're talking about?
Yeah.
Well, to say like I just made that word up.
Yeah.
You heard
that was
his
what it was,
biggest.
yeah.
Okay, so the 200 words, as far as you recall.
So anyway, so I read it and I was like, I don't know what is going on about here, right? So Suzanne was with me. I said, can you read this? She said, I'm watching Sex and the City. Right? I said, right, but can you read it and explain to me what I don't understand here? She said, well, I don't understand it.
It's great. It's like she's thinking, I haven't got kids.
Yeah.
And yet he still wants me to help with his homework and I'm watching telly.
Yeah.
I've been at work all day.
So she said, look, go in the bedroom and read it out loud to yourself. Maybe it make more sense if you read it out loud.
Yeah.
Right, so I said, right, I'll go and do that then. It was good because it's cool in there anyway, right? So I went in there. So, read it out, twice. Went back and I said, I don't get it still. Right? So she said, right, wait 10 minutes and I'll sort it out. So I was sat there looking at it, trying to work it out before she had to look at it. I was like, no, forget this. Now, what he was saying is, if you send a man to the moon, right?
Yeah.
He was saying, to the fella in the rocket, it would seem like 20 years to him.
Yeah, not the moon, but yeah.
No, it was, that's what it said the moon.
Well, it wouldn't, because it's only about...
No, but listen. So it took 20 years to the fella, yet people who are on the Earth, it would seem like 2000.
Yeah, because time is relative, not...
I don't... What do you mean?
Right. Well, listen, the fact is that it's tending towards the speed of light where it really makes a difference. They've even done it with atomic clocks where they've sent one up even in Concorde and it's like 0.01 of a second difference.
What is the watch?
Yes. Yeah, because greater speeds.
But why does speed affect how a watch works?
Right, I don't think this is a conversation.
Look, speed is...
Sorry,
see
stop.
what I mean,
Just
see what
stop
I
for a
mean,
moment.
Steve?
Right.
See what I've done?
I don't think this is a conversation to be had on a Saturday afternoon on a radio show.
But I'm just saying though, it's not me, is it?
It is you.
You went quiet, Steve.
No, because
you're having problems.
Because I'm not going to be able to explain it to you.
I will explain
in
to
a
you
light, frothy way.
It's speed equals basically velocity equals distance over time. When velocity doesn't change and nor does distance, time has to. That's his theory. Yeah.
Well, we just got.
What's your point then, Karl? What's your point?
I'm just saying.
Because you don't understand it's worthless.
I was trying to explain to Newton. That basically formulated, the laws of the universe, the 3 laws of the universe. Even playing snooker, I'm trying to drop something. I was going, well, equal and opposite reaction and all these sort of stuff, right? And he was going, what did he do apart from the apple on his head with the gravity? And I went, well, what do you mean? And he went, well, why was it a problem? If we had been floating round, I'd have called him in. But since we're not, we don't need him. Yeah. That's what he said. Play a record. You're a buffoon.
So there's these 2 new kinds of frogs, you say?
You're joking. What? A monkey had a hat?
Leaving a thing called Love by The Darkness on XFM 104.9. Last show. Possibly the last ever show. It's up to the K-Man. Little Pilky. Baldy Pilky. Little Whingy. Dimmu Manco. As he's called his Latin name. Dimmus Mancoid. Alright, Karl? Alright? You're gonna miss this, aren't you?
Nope.
Good show, though? Enjoying the last show?
Yeah, it's alright, and, I hope it gets better because, Telegraph are listening today.
The Telegraph, the paper?
Yeah.
Are they? Why did you say that?
Just, Jenny, the PR woman, said to me yesterday, she said, do some good topics and that, so you don't have to worry there.
What they phoned up to say, hello, it's Telegraph here, we'll be listening tomorrow.
I don't know what they're doing.
Are they doing a review of it or something?
I don't know. Why would they do that? There's no reason to.
I'm a bit, why didn't you mention this earlier?
So Telegraph have said, why would they call up to say we'll be listening? It's a free country.
Because they said they'll be listening, but also, can you make sure you record it? Because if we can't listen to it because of the pirate stations that are on at the weekend, because it affects our signal and stuff. Whoever's listening must listen and know there's a problem with pirates, and they said, can you...
Well, they're probably just doing a feature about radio shows or something then.
They're going to tear us to shreds.
They're gonna...
I mean, listen to seriously, the drivel we've talked today. I mean, what are they going to make of it? That's a broadsheet newspaper.
I think I know what Monday's headline's going to be. I don't think it's going to be like, they're going to forget about the power cuts. It's not going to be about, the inquiry or terrorism or anything. It's going to be, no more to knob news.
Yeah.
It's gonna, they're going to love that.
I mean, seriously, I have a little bit of self-respect. And if I'd known a quality newspaper was going to be listening, I wouldn't have turned up today. Because I mean, I'm an award winner, and I'm a respected television writer, and I've, won awards, sort of classy.
Don't worry though,
and
don't worry.
What have we talked about? Knobs. We've had the worst quiz on radio.
Yeah.
We've had you trying to explain relativity. You didn't even understand what that word meant.
I don't think you recognise the word. You read that article. You read that article 4 times, twice out loud, where you could hear Sex and the City music, right? And yet that word might have been a clem, for instance. You hadn't heard it before, so I don't know. Do you look between the lines? Do you actually look at the words?
No, there's too many words though.
The Telegraph are going to love that. Because there's loads of words. The Telegraph have got loads of words. I mean, it's covered with words.
Which way up do you hold the magazine when you read it?
No, but there is too many words.
I mean, there's people, are they upside down?
There's too many words. There is too many words in the world.
Do you know what this one means, right? This is one I learnt the other day. I think it's, Antidoian.
No. What does that mean?
Old.
Sorry, how do you spell it?
Don't know.
Of course you don't.
Antidoian.
No, I've never heard that word.
It means old. But the annoying thing is, it takes longer to say, and it's the fact that if you.
But where do you hear that word, and in what context? And
someone told me about it. I was talking to someone about long words and that, because you mentioned something when we were out drinking, and I said to you, "Why did you say that then? What word does that mean?" And then you had to explain it, and I said, well, you didn't have to say that, you could have just said blah blah.
But can I say, Steve, I wasn't sort of trying to cut him out or being pretentious. It must have been just a normal word in my vocabulary that he didn't know.
Wait a minute, what vocabulary pretentious? You've lost me.
You've lost, yeah. I'll tell you what.
That you're scared by syllables.
Yeah.
No, it's just...
I'll tell you what, though, I was going to do a feature about this. It's funny you should say it. I was going to do a feature. My next feature I'd written down is how good the Telegraph is, the newspaper.
Yeah.
It's bloody brilliant.
I love it.
Because it's informative, it's impartial, this research good. I think it's a lovely layout. The photography is brilliant.
Oh.
Do you know what? I like the bloody font. I love the bloody font!
And do you mind something else? I mean, you say it's sort of, I mean, if there's any bias at all, I mean, there isn't because it's apolitical, but I bloody love the Tory party.
Let's not go into it, but I just like to tell you, I just like the journalism and the way
size of the paper.
I like the way they're fair. They'd never like, slag us off.
No, but also I think it's because they understand that, we don't really care, and so we can't be blamed for anything they hear on the radio.
No.
It's not really our fault, it's more sort of
and anything we said that was like, a bit nasty or stupid was probably sort of like some clever sort of ironic postmodern.
Satire.
Play record.
Yeah.
Brilliant Telegraph.
It's really fairly priced, don't you think?
I think it's too cheap.
I know.
Sanctuary. On XFM 104.9, I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Stephen Merchant.
Hello.
And Karl Pilkington. Now, if the Telegraph are, listening, and they're whoever it is, they're writing their article, and they're coming up with sort of words like cheap, smutty, lowbrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In our defence, could I just say that we're pandering to our listenership?
Yes.
I mean, this station without exception, the people who work here, the executives, the DJs, are alcoholics, drug users, sex offenders.
Check the register.
And we're trying to fit in with that for 2 hours a week. So we really have to sort of really bring it down.
Seriously dumbing down.
But if you want,
we should do our stuff.
We do our normals, like we talk about usually.
Tits.
Satire.
Satire, political satire, social and political satire.
Yeah.
If you listen any other week, that's what you would have heard.
Well, me and Steve are sort of like quite, political animals and Proust.
Oh.
I love him.
Oh, I wish he'd resign as governor of, France.
Have you read Martin Amos's new novel?
I love it.
It's so
brilliant.
Lovely.
Very long.
Politics
though. I mean, what do you make of politics, Rick?
I was just planning on going to the English National Opera tonight to see brilliant
Tartuffe. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, politics is brilliant. It's my favourite thing.
Say something satirical and comical about, say, John Prescott.
Oh, he's got
Stop eating pies, Prescott.
Oh, I wouldn't like to be him about now.
So that's the sort of
what do you make of George W. Bush? He's a bit stupid, isn't he?
Well, that's the dangerous thing. He's the most powerful man in the world, and I just think, I hope he thinks about stuff he does first.
Oh, please.
So
that's sort of wise as well as comic.
I thought of something about Bush as well.
Go on.
But it's about his name and a woman's family.
Oh.
So I was going to bring those two together.
I think it's fine though. I don't think I think that's still quite highbrow because you've incorporated Bush.
Which meaning the president.
Means family as well.
So I think we're pleasing both.
We got both camps. Camp? That reminds me of something.
I know, yeah. So if you're listening, Telegraph.
Daily Telegraph, that is
brilliant.
The sort of thing
You're brilliant.
That's the sort of thing we're able to do.
Too many words for Karl. But what about some adverts?
I'd love to.
Buy the Telegraph. Excellent. Stop on XFM 104.9. Well, if the Telegraph are listening, they'll be loving the music.
Oh, that's great music.
They'll be loving Knob News. Coming up, Telegraph, just keep listening because Monkey News is coming up. And should we do the results of Rockbusters, the worst quiz? The best quiz. On radio.
Do that shortly, although, probably you're thinking, Rick, isn't it time that we do our usual roundup of what's been happening in the news?
Yeah.
Which we always do every week.
Yeah.
We always do something, basically, if you're listening and you're a new listener, say you work at a newspaper, we always try to be informative, just try and put stuff out there that just educates people, informs people.
What are you thinking? Well, I said Monkey News is coming up, but what have you got?
No, I was just looking on the net there and just found a couple of quite important news stories probably worth mentioning. Policeman caught photographing. I don't know why it makes me laugh. It's just the phrasing, I suppose. It's the headline. Policeman caught photographing up woman's skirt.
No, he wasn't up there taking a picture of Big Ben.
No.
He wasn't going, can I just sit up here? I'm just going to take a picture of that seagull over there.
No.
He was facing the camera up a woman's skirt.
He was indeed.
Right.
A policeman in Japan is facing disciplinary measures after he was caught photographing up a woman's skirt with a hidden camera while on duty. The 42-year-old sergeant, who's not been named, used a digital camera to secretly snap the shots when the woman was reporting a stolen bicycle.
So he was actually
doing his proper job. He'd obviously thought to himself, I'll bring him a digital camera today. On the off chance a beautiful woman comes in to report a crime or robbery, I'll have it ready, I'll have it positioned, in such a way. But this is interesting. This is how he got caught. Okay? The woman became suspicious after she saw a flash go off.
brilliant.
I mean, this
Not a secret at all.
Sorry, did I just see your shoe? Your shoe just seemed to just spring into life. There was light. There was light.
Yeah, I think I've had someone set fire to some magnesium that was on the end of it. It won't happen again.
Well, it's only you and I in here, and your shoe was suddenly lit.
Why are you standing like that? Why is your shoe just sort of like between my feet?
There's no reason. This is how I always stand.
What did the bike look like? Flash? So, are you taking pictures of my family?
No. And no, I'm not. And you should be wearing knickers anyway.
Well, how do you know that?
What?
How did you know I'm not?
How did I know what?
I'm not wearing any.
I didn't know you. I don't know what you've got up there.
Well,
I don't know what it looks like, and there's no way I could. Of course, it would be roughly that conversation in Japanese.
I know, yeah.
You know, you just mentioned there about sort of no knickers and that.
Is this going to be your Auntie Nora?
No.
Right.
It's just, like the last flat that I lived in, I always had a good view across the road and I could see, it was the hairy.
There was the hairy Chinese
not hairy Chinese kid, he was just a Chinese kid, actually.
Yeah.
Running about.
Because that's rare, isn't it? Hairy Chinese kids are very rare, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's only one official sighting, isn't there? In one of those shit little magazines that you buy.
Yeah, he was running around in his underpants.
Sorry, you just swore ironically. I mean, I imagine if there's any newspapers listening, you did that. Because you're sort of jokey and...
Yeah, go on, let's not swear.
And there was the old woman who didn't move, she was just sat there reading the book all the time.
Who we think possibly died and no one came round for weeks,
But, and now I've moved, right? And it was quiet for a bit. I always look at what view I'm getting, right? Looked across and it was just sort of empty, sort of flats ready for people to move in and that, right? Anyway, people are in there now, right? And they've put all the furniture in, but I haven't put any curtains up. Right? So anyway, I'm sort of washing up, just having a look out the window. Right? Girl sort of, wandering about, knickers on. Right?
With no knickers on?
You mean naked?
No knickers. Well, she had a bra on.
Right, okay.
But,
she's probably looking for a knicker.
So, I thought, and I don't know how long I was looking.
No.
Right? But anyway, she looks across.
Oh, God.
I think she spotted me.
Yeah.
I think, oh, God. I felt really bad.
Yeah.
I said to Suzanne...
Sorry, is this some sort of Peeping Tom confession while the Telegraph are listening?
I've no idea.
Well, it's not, that's the thing though.
Peepington.
If I was peeping, she was peeping as well, because she was looking over. works both ways, doesn't it?
Yeah, but yeah, all she could see of you was your bald head.
Yeah.
No, but
And your hands moving as you were washing up. And some white-looking substance rotting up.
Particularly stubborn stain on this glass.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Imagine that. Imagine if she looked across. I'm assuming the sink is lower than the window.
But didn't she just cover up or something? Or she looked back and go, oh, you're looking up, honey?
Well, the thing I did,
What?
I thought, just thought I'd drop me boxer shorts. 'Cause I
What?
thought, well, Suzanne said, what are you doing?
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
No, just so they can see me cheeks of me.
What are you talking about?
No, because I thought, if she thinks I'm walking about in the nude as well, then we've both got something out of it.
Karl!
This sounds like a bad excuse in court.
I know.
This is
Or the plot of a film on Channel 5.
I mean, this is like the doctor who got done, right, for exposing himself to a patient and then painted that little thing, that you look down their throat pink.
Yeah.
And going, this is what they saw.
yeah.
No, so sorry, you were looking at a woman dancing around naked, right? So, the only thing you could do was immediately drop your boxer shorts.
So she looked across, saw you fully clothed, saw you took your boxers
No, she
off.
wouldn't have done, because it's sort of just the top half and the sink's at a side angle, so I was sort of looking out.
So
This
she
is
wouldn't
genius.
so she wouldn't have seen your trousers then anyway?
No, she did. I moved in front of the window.
So you then made them... You actually climbed in front of the...
Oh, this is amazing!
So you climbed in front of the window to show off
it wasn't
your naked
obvious.
lower half.
Suzanne said, what are you doing? And I
I
said,
bet she did!
What are you looking at?
I sent you in here to
What
clean
are
up.
you doing? I'm just taking my trousers down and standing over the window. Why? Because there's a naked woman across the road. What do you think I'm doing, Suzanne? I'm exposing myself while looking at some free fame.
leave it.
What's up with you, Suzanne?
leave it then, leave it.
Christ.
Are we doing Rockbusters or what?
Yeah.
Oh, she sent you in there to read up on Einstein.
Oh, brilliant!
Wait a minute, can I just check? A final question. What did the woman across the way... What happened? What was her
I
reaction?
didn't look again, I just thought, you've seen a bit of action as well, we're both happy. Let's leave it.
Brilliant.
So were you waddling around like a penguin with your trousers around your ankle?
I just was walking about and Suzanne said, what are you doing? I said, I'll explain to you in a bit, but don't look out the window, because then it's obvious.
Excellent. Then he sees that she calls her husband to look at Karl walking around naked. He goes, oh, she's got a... Quick, Suzanne, get him out. There's only one with England. Get some more friends. They've gone one more.
Anyway.
Brilliant. Right, play a record and come back to Rockbusters. And Monkey News. We haven't got enough time to do Rockbusters. Oh, God almighty. Of Transformer. A little bit of Lou Reed. Nearly finished. 12 minutes until We Are No More.
But don't forget, Monkey News still to come.
Well, yeah, don't forget that. Monkey News still to come. But now the answers to Rockbusters. Right, do the clues.
Alright, the first clue was this vegetable started its life down under. The initials were KO. That was Collie Osborne. Alright? Collie Osborne. The second one was,
No, what are we letting that go?
Yep. We haven't got time, Rick.
Well, it's just not the word.
We haven't got time, Rick.
Also, cauliflowers don't start down under. They're on top. It's not like carrots.
no,
or
down under is in Osborne.
Osborne,
It was
born in Oz.
Osborne.
Right.
Collie. I thought you meant started, but her name's not Collie.
Right, the second one was, the things that you normally find on the beach, right? They've been found floating around the moon. That's the space shells, right? Specials. We're going to just tweak it a bit.
This is rubbish. I mean, I tell you, no, this isn't even funny though. I mean, they're no good at all.
Cryptic.
It's not
We always
cryptic, it's
say
wrong.
cryptic.
It's
We
not
always say
cryptic.
The last one was, well, if you put that many in the post, I'm surprised I didn't receive one.
Go on.
That's FC, 50 cent. Right?
What?
50 cent. It was 50 cent. I didn't receive any, so
Collie Osborne. Collie. Her name's not Collie. Her name is not Collie.
doesn't matter.
Well,
It doesn't matter.
well done to Gina Ferry, who has emailed in. She's got all those answers right.
Just emailing your address and that.
Yeah, email that.
You're such an idiot, Karl.
As are you, Gina.
Alright.
Loosen Your Hold by South. That's great. On XFM 104.9. Well, that's nearly it.
Rick, can I just say thanks to everyone who's emailed in over the weeks and months we've been on, because obviously we're too lazy to even send them a response or a reply. but we do appreciate
We do appreciate
Yeah,
it. Same
they get
with
in
all the
touch.
letters and stuff that we can't.
Yeah, people send stuff in all the time and they say they like the show or they don't, or they contribute little ideas and stuff, and we do read them and we do appreciate it. It's just that we, when you've got someone like Karl Pilkington in the studio, you just need to pick his brain constantly and you've got no real time for admin. But, thank you for sending in all the nice, letters and responses and stuff.
Well, finally, we should let people know that next week, for the, foreseeable future, it's Adam and Joe.
Brilliant.
They were brilliant, and they're standing in for us this time next week.
Well, you say standing in, but possibly replacing full-time unless Karl
Possibly.
Pilkington decides to change his mind and come back. What do you think, Karl? You've enjoyed today's show, I know.
Yeah, it's been alright.
Yeah, you tempted to come back when we finally return?
Maybe a little rest to make you sort of like forget how annoying I am. Because
No, because then it'll
that
just-
is my secret weapon. Sometimes, you know, because it's the thing that you can fleece a sheep as many times as you want, but you can only skin it once.
Sure.
So what I do is sort of like, I fleece you. I never actually completely lose a friend. I tease them and talk to them to the point where they're going to leave me, and I go, oh, anyway, how are you doing? They go, I'll sort of confuse them.
Yeah.
And that's what I've done with you today. And I think, over the next couple of months where I'm sort of nicer on the phone, I'm not squeezing your head, you'll go, he's alright, Rick, what?
Yeah,
and then I'll get you back in it.
To it
And then I'll
Yeah, exactly
absolutely rip you to pieces
I'll
again.
be dealing with.
So, but hopefully, and also, unlike a lot of my friends who are clever, I don't have to worry about you because you will forget. Because you've got a tiny little intellect. And do you know what I mean?
You'll forget this conversation even took place.
Anyway, it's what everyone's been waiting for.
the
It's what
last
Karl
time.
exists for the last time. It's monkey news.
Play the jingle.
Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news.
Right, are you familiar with 100th Monkey?
Keep
The
talking.
100th Monkey?
100th.
Yeah, like as in like, or more than 99.
100th.
The 100th monkey.
Yeah, are you familiar with that?
No.
No.
Oh.
Anyway, thanks. That was
Well,
monkey
we'll
news.
leave that
Next
then.
week, Adam and Joe. What do you mean you're going to leave that?
Well, I thought it was a popular phrase or something.
What, 100th monkey?
Yeah.
What do you mean a popular phrase? What, why? What? Because you're going to do songs of praise with it next week. We've said it once before, 100th monkey.
No, it's just, it says the expression 100th Monkey.
Well,
Right,
do
it's
it
over
anyway.
where it
What's the
comes from.
story?
Well, it's from the 1950s, right?
Right.
And the way that they got it because, they were following some monkeys about, right? And decided,
Who was? Who was?
journalists,
Oh, yeah, why?
Oh, yeah.
just to see what they're up to. Right?
Okay, so they're following some monkeys around, yeah.
What was it? What, a documentary?
Anyway, one of them
Come on!
Come on!
washed some potatoes.
Right, okay.
Right, let's leave that, right? Let's leave that
Come on!
A monkey washing potatoes?
one. Can we leave that one?
No,
No!
it's
You've got to do it now. They're following what is it? Sort of like a family. Is it a family of monkeys or a...
It was just one chimp and it was washing a potato and they thought, that's a bit odd. Right?
Yeah.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
it turns out that ended up teaching another monkey
Yeah.
how to wash a potato.
No, they do it. They go down and wash them in the sea because they like the taste of salt. And
The weird thing is though,
they
when it
pass on.
got to the 100th monkey, right, even though it hadn't been taught how to wash a potato,
Yeah.
it automatically knew. It knew what to do.
What do you
don't know what
mean?
you're talking
What do you
about.
mean?
It was in them. It was in them that they knew that when they get a potato they had to wash it. That isn't the monkey news, I'm just saying that's where the expression comes from, but you haven't even heard of that. So
Well, there's a couple of things there that it could be another upshot, and you know, an instinct is part of your genetics and everything else.
Washing a potato.
But you can't pass on acquired characteristics, so that's nonsense. If you mean that someone was taught they had a child and it knew it, there's no chemical memory as such in.
That's what's
So that
weird
wasn't
about
even
it, that's
monkey
what's
news?
weird. No, the monkey news, you know, we've covered a lot of stuff. There was sad stuff, wasn't there?
Yeah.
There's some funny stuff in there, you know.
Yeah. Do monkey
Playing
news.
robbers and that. Football team.
A monkey football team?
Yeah, in, Costa Rica.
Oh, yeah.
Got all the team members there, right?
Right.
All the different things. Little goalkeeper. Apparently he's on transfers from some other club. But the bit that got me attention is, apparently he's a holder of PhD of physics. Do you want to have a look at that?
What, the
please?
goalkeeper?
Yeah, just the goalkeeper. The others haven't done that much.
The others haven't done that much. Well, I believe that he's got better exam results than you, Karl, but I don't believe he's got a PhD in physics. Obviously.
Do you know what the name of the team is? Coconuts.
So if the Telegraph are listening, that is the sort of quality entertainment you get. Well, you don't anymore.
Let's just put a song on then.
Yeah, that's the end. Goodbye, everybody. Have a lovely summer.
Yeah,
the rest of it. And, we might see you in October. We might not. It's up to Karl Pilkington.
Chances are slim.
So call 0207 766 6000. Ask for Karl Pilkington.
Or email him.
What's this?
This is Tim Buckley to end with. I think you'll enjoy this. It's called Once I
Andrew
Rose.
Phillips. Call Andrew Phillips.
See ya.